All right, now let's try doing the stream that I was trying to do earlier this morning and see if we can get everything right. What is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka MultimediaJay, 706 at the Geek House. A little late for the day shift schedule and stuff like that, but we're going to be playing your... We're already lagging it out. Drop the bit rate! 7,000 is too high. We are going to be playing, put it down to 6,500. All right, we're now down at 6,500 for a target bit rate. Let's see if it's settled. Nope, it's going to 0. Give it some time because there's a little bit slower latency on this. We are playing with some of YouTube streaming's newest toys to do some tech tinkering and all kinds of other cool stuff here. And what? Nope, it just lagged again. Check the preview, it's gonna swirl. This is going to be highly experimental as we toy around with start the game. It's time to play some stuff. If this doesn't stop going to 0, I'm gonna have to stop. I think I have to stop the stream. I got it at 6,500. Oh, stop the stream and restart it. We're gonna lag. So these new features with YouTube are obviously experimental. When we get it working right, though, this should be good. But oh shoot, son, I'm getting throttled down to 4,500 now that I've restarted the stream. Let me check the settings on this to make sure I have everything dialed in correct. I'm getting throttled. Stream output, NVIDIA NVENC HEVC, 1080p, constant bit rate, but I'm getting throttled down to 4,500 again. All right, let's put it at 4,500 and restart the stream. It looks like the 7,000 that I got away with for 2 minutes was just a fluke. One more lag, and then we'll try and do something. Oh, this is... It's prime time in the US, so am I in a position where... Well, it's not... Now it's sitting very distinctly at like 3,500. I have it dialed in at 40. I have it dialed in at 4,500. Hold on a second with this. Stream, YouTube HLS, primary YouTube ingest server. It's set with the settings from what that guy said that we should do. And I'm at 36. So no matter what I type in, I'm always lower than what I actually am. Hold on a second. We're probably just going to have to put this back to simple mode like I had it earlier and ignore that video that told me to do all that stuff. All right, let's change up a few things here. $1,600. I'm getting a bit rate of 1,600 now. It's not saying it's lagging or anything, though. All right, let's fire up ESO. Oh, wait, I'm probably getting... Yeah, I'm getting downscaled. Can we start the game yet? So there's a how-to video on, okay, it's getting there, but it's constantly sending smaller amounts of bit rate. Am I still going through? The how-to video on, okay, it's getting there, but it's constantly sending smaller amounts of bit rate. Am I still going through? The how-to video, I am getting packet shaped with HEVC. Let me just double check that one more time before we fire up ESO. I seriously think you... Yeah, I got it set to 7,000 here. Custom encoder. No, I can't do advanced while it's actually encoding. Resolutions match. No downscaling required. Advanced process priority is above normal to help with conflict with the game and stuff. All right, let's see what this looks like, because this is extremely experimental, as you can tell. This is exceptionally experimental, so there aren't even error messages for when I'm too far off from the target bit rates here. Let's fire up ESO. It'd be nice if that at least worked. And then I'm going to dial into the stream directly and see what kind of quality we're getting. Let's get my guy back on the screen and have him start juggling, because I have it dialed in at the settings that I did earlier at 7,000 for a bit rate. I have it dialed in with the same settings I used earlier for that test. I think somebody at YouTube fixed the issue, and I'm getting package shaped down to 4,500. You know what? It doesn't say that I'm having any problems though. So maybe this counter is just all. No, here it goes. Nope, it's disconnecting. Swirlies. No, it's completely dropping to 0. The connection is unstable. The thing is, with stuff this 4,500, we got to restart everything. Let's see what it does now. Stop. Turn on the audio on the preview. Stop. Turn on the audio on the preview. That's a lot of latency too. So yeah, this definitely is doing its latency. Turn on the audio on the preview. We're going to get echo if we don't shut that off. All right, what's lagging again? I'm at 4,500 YouTube. This is your recommended bit rate. Come on now. So with stuff this experimental, obviously, you got to keep an eye on things and make sure things aren't screwing up. Also, I am not getting any of the normal error messages when it comes to YouTube. Usually it tells you when you're too far out of the bandwidth thing, but before I turn on HEVC, I actually saw that. Let's just see. Let's have this guy juggle yarn, and let me go to the stream and see what that looks like. Just like when I was doing that experiment earlier with the 2-minute videos, I want to see what that looks. I want to see what it looks like. I'm actually going to go to the stream and load it up. I should be able, I have the bandwidth to, especially when I'm at these lower bit rates. Okay, I'm at 4,500, which is the recommended bit rate. So we're gonna have this guy juggle for a bit before we get into this. I want to get these settings finalized. I'm gonna just get $7,000 earlier. I got $7,000 earlier, but then there was this Australian guy who did a video about advanced settings to dial in. I had to go back to the default settings. So let me go to my stream here before we get the wizard character out. Oh wow! Skip. Dial in. I had to go back to the default settings. All right, we're gonna get double noise for a second here. I'm gonna shut the mic off. Before we get the wizard character out. Oh wow! Skip. Dial in. I had to go back to the default settings. All right, we're gonna get double noise for a second here. All right, shut the mic off. Let me shut off the streams. Mute the stream here. I just want to look at the graphics and see what we have. So this is 4,500. This is what the first thing was. Let's try putting it up to 7,000 and see if it starts lagging. It'll lag once when it changes the quality over, but I did manage with the non-advanced settings to get this over to 7,000 before it started getting, not 70,000. I did manage to get this over to 7,000 before it started getting unstable. So there we go. So now we're at $7,000. I'm watching the stream in real time. I'm going to see it lag out and switch over. And then when it's done, let's see if it's stable. If this guy stays juggling, then we'll use the settings from that HEVC test earlier. All right, we getting any lag? Do I have to stop and restart the stream? Oh, there it is. We'll use the settings from that HEVC test. Oh, it just bugged out. All right, we getting any lag? Do I have to stop and restart the stream? All right. See, that's the problem. Yep, there it goes. No, it's having problems with the frames now. Let me keep the audio on. Stop and restart the stream. All right. See, that's the problem. Yep, there it goes. No, it's having problems with the frames now. No, I'm getting stutters. Let me keep the audio on. Stop and restart the stream. All right. See, it's not stable. Turn it off. It's not stable. Change up the 15 minutes and we still haven't done anything. This sucks. All right, so 7,000 is too high. Take it to 6,500. See if it restabilizes. I have perfect connection 10 grand out. So it's not the ISP. There's this. Okay, there was the swirly. There's the swirl. I'm probably cutting myself off and jump cutting, and there's a whole bunch of freeze framing going on. Wow. I think maybe I should restart this stream. It is not stable. It is all right. All right. The experiment is over. We're gonna do this at 4,500, the recommended bit rate for this new setup. The only difference is, there we go. Lag the stream one more time. Time. There it is. All right. Let's keep an eye on that preview for a second. Make sure it doesn't freeze out again. 4,600. Why don't we actually start the bandwidth monitor for the outbound bandwidth and make sure it's not. So the way it works, it's a bit different than what's been going on. With the lag spikes, which I think is just packet shaping activity on Google's end, you would see it drop down, the bandwidth would get cut in half. With these new experimental YouTube streaming features, you drop completely down to 0 in your stream lags. So let me just see if it settles down here. We'll get the graph on the screen and see if we can get it to settle down. The recommended bit rate is 4,500 for this. I think the idea here is that YouTube is trying to get people to use a more efficient level of bandwidth. So we'll monitor the outgoing bandwidth as it tries to settle. It's still trying to go to 7, though. It's not stable. We're going to have to... Did we lag the stream and set it to 4,500? Or maybe it's... You know what? Let me go and check this one last time. I think it's a variable. I think we're playing with a variable bit rate here, so the bit rate is going to change without the stream lagging out. So this is highly experimental. It's not a feature that has been publicly announced yet. It's something I had to go digging for. There's some help files for it, but I saw it pop up in OBS. So we are very much playing with some nerd toys here. I do know that the recommended bit rate is 4,500, but it's supposed to have higher quality at 4,500, basically letting YouTube streamers stream at 1080/60 at the former 1080/30 recommended bit rate. So I'm opening up my stream just to make sure that the quality is on par with that HEVC or with that HLS test we had earlier, and then we'll switch over to my sorcerer, and then we'll just check to see what. So yeah, I mean, he's standing there, he's tossing the things in the air. There's no weird stuff going on. We might be dealing with a variable output, variable bandwidth out here, but we'll just see what it looks like, and then I'll watch like Tyranny or something later on, or Vindalia if I can't get back to sleep in the middle of the night, and yeah. All right, so that was fun. Let's take this guy back inside the castle, and we're going to do this with the in-game music, because we are kind of spoofing Hogwarts Legacy, because I'm too cheap to get Hogwarts Legacy. Let's put everything up. Let's max the volume on everything, and then let the compression do all the work for us. All right, where are we at with this guy? All right, how are we doing with the audio ducking? Looks like the audio ducking's in decent shape. I mean, that part works. Then we'll compare the quality of this when it's done processing. So right now it's only sending at like 3 or something. I think this is a variable bitrate thing, so I don't know. Well, I'll watch the stream afterwards and see what it looks like.
The clitter clatter.
But this is highly experimental. When you stream with this in YouTube, you actually don't get most of the whatchamacallit. You actually don't even get most of the error messages that tell you your bit rate's too high, your bit rate's too low. It is that new and it is that experimental. I'm mostly looking for, and I should probably move my bandwidth monitor here, I'm mostly looking for whether I get swirlies on the preview on monitor number 2. The problem is the latency on this is slower than it is on RTMP. So if there's an error, I'm going to see it later. So, let's play some ESO. It's been a brutal week. Trying to go from night shift to day shift. I'm getting up at the right times, but I'm not getting to sleep at the right times. I'm still getting my energy at night and feeling like I've been smacked in the head with a 2x4 for most of the day. It's going to take a while to have any chance of becoming a daytime person again. And I think being a night owl might even run in my family, because my dad's not a fan of getting up in the morning either. All right, we'll keep this guy in the castle, and we'll just watch we'll keep an eye on, you know what? I think I'm going to risk, this is download bandwidth anyways. I want a 60 frames per second preview over there. We'll also keep an eye on the CPU usage and the GPU usage. We did switch to DLAA to see if, keep an eye on the CPU that OBS takes up. It's hanging around $4,500 now, but maybe well, the thing is, if you go too high, it gets unstable and starts dropping completely, and you start getting stuttering without getting the error message that YouTube is buffering for the person on the other end. So, extremely experimental. Maybe if there's somebody that streamed on Twitch back in 2012, this might remind them of that, because this is the crudest streaming interface that I've ever seen. Let me just move this down so I can see if any error messages pop up at all. But, all right. There's Lauren and her white mage thing, but Final Fantasy inspired. We're going to be leveling Arthur Shadax, named after the guy from Solstice on the NES. I'm too cheap to get Hogwarts Legacy. So let's level a wizard-looking character in ESO and test out these new features with YouTube streaming while we're at it. Oh yeah, what it's sending out is going. It's bouncing all over the place. I think part of this is that it's a variable output bit rate, so I should probably just make sure that the number in OBS is stable if it even works in the first place. All right, Shadax Manor. Guy does have, he's basically the owner of Gardner House in Wayrest. Let me just have this guy go out into his backyard. And then we'll just see what happens to the outbound bandwidth. No! Backyard, that's over here. There we go. Alright. Let's go have this guy hang out. It's raining. That's how you know it's an ESO stream. Take 2 steps outside and it all starts raining. Even though it's sunny out in Wayrest. Alright. We'll have this guy, let's have this guy start juggling yarn. Let me see what the output looks like when I set it back to 7,000. It's at 4,500 right now. Worst comes to worst, we'll lag the stream out. I think we're playing with a variable bitrate thing here where I can't really trust the outbound bandwidth over on the thing here. Go up to $7,000. See if it... According to OBS, it's dropping down to 0. All right. According to OBS, it's actually dropping to 0 on a regular basis. But what I'm actually seeing is that nothing I'm doing is making any difference whatsoever. Nope. Literally, it doesn't improve the quality. All it's doing is making the connection unstable. Yep, there we go. Oh, look at that slideshow. Are we back to normal now? Or do I have to restart the stream again? Yeah, I got a 2.5. We'll restart the stream. I got 2.5% drop frames, and I want this to be accurate. Restarting. All right, we're dialed back in at 4,500. We'll just let it level out a bit here. It is variable bitrate, but instead of improving the quality, more bitrate just makes the connection unstable. I wonder what VBR would do. We could do that. Yeah, I wonder what VBR would do. Let's go. Let's jump into a DPS queue here.
Just as fickle as people, but just as beautiful too.
All right. Well, at least we won't be saying Revelio every 5 seconds. This guy is level 21. Oh, who the heck? Vivienne Morteau. I thought that was Vindalia for a second. Could be one of her alts. We got the purple. Yeah, like she has the monopoly on the color purple. All right, wait, is that a little bit of encoding lag? We might have to put DLSS back on. Let's see if it barfs. Yeah, it's barfing. But that's encoding lag. It's not stuff, because the drop frames for the network will actually pick that up. All right. So switch back to DLSS. Switch off DLAA. Switch back to DLSS for a little more performance. And down goes the game. Epic fail. Okay, let's try that again. This is getting as bad as the last time I played ESO. Oh, hey, I'm experimenting with experimental streaming features, and then I, in the middle of streaming, tried to go from DLAA to DLSS, two things that use the graphics card directly, and took down the game. We'll see if we can set it. We'll see if we can set it at the character screen. See, why don't we go to like high quality or something for DLSS? Okay, we got back in. No, like 10 minutes of like last time. I still have the stuff from streams, by the way, to make that with. Just haven't activated it yet. FSR, that's for Fidelity Super Resolution. That's for AMD cards. Shadow quality, screen space reflection, medium, planar reflection. Why is that off? We can put that to medium now that we're running DLSS. And ambient occlusion? I don't know really if we really need to do that. Let's just turn that off. I think the rationale last time was the ambient occlusion was being done by... Uh-oh. Welcome to 20 minutes of staring at a load screen. Thanks, ESO. It's time to play some stuff. All right. Let's try that again. Oh man. I tell you, it's like I'm not even playing ESO. I'm just experimenting with the computer. The tech video people are going to have a ball with this one. I'm just watching the preview to see how often it lags out. I'm at the recommended bitrate of 4,500. All right, we're gonna restart it while it's loading to clear the counters for drop frames. So once again, be right back. This is so stupid. But that's the fun of it all. All right, where's the stable in this town? We're experimenting with experimental YouTube features. Experimenting with experimental YouTube features, trying to get package shaped by Google. I thought I'd found a way around it earlier. I might just reinstall OBS. Maybe I broke something doing that Aussie guy's streaming
You're
tips
in the
there.
market for a reliable mount. I have horses from the Covenant.
G'day, mate. Punch these settings into your OBS. G'day, mate. Punch these settings into your OBS. Or whatever the heck the accent is. Oh, man. Just give me something to fight. I gotta blow off some steam here. That's not an enemy. That's a street. That's a lamppost. Do we have DLSS set to quality. All right. See if we get any more. That all lagged out, by the way, because... That all lagged out, by the way, because... there we go. It lagged out because I changed the settings. Also, it pounded the hell out of the processor, which ESO is infamous for. Alright, give me something to attack. There we go. Revelio! No.
Don't underestimate that.
What? How come she just stood there? Mage apprentice here. She's standing there watching. You have spells, madam. Use them. We're two sorcerers, for Pete's sake. Alright. He's level 21. What's his armor at? Level 16. Ugh.
Epic fail.
Can't even get this guy equipped properly before the freaking stream. Looking for a DPS and tank for veteran City of Ash 1. I don't think you want my guy in your group. He's level 21 and his gear sucks. So I'll join Daily Random Norm. At least I have food buffs, though. A food buff, not the best food buff.
Big mistake.
Oh, man. How are we doing with the output bandwidth? Looks like the output bandwidth's doing all right. Are we getting more? No drop frames. It'll pick up the drop frames if there are any. So let's see. What are we looking at here? Gameplay. Yeah, for companion reactions frequent. Yeah, I want her running her mouth. Make things a little more interesting. Thursday night, the final night of night shift, 7:36 at the Geek House. 9-to-5ers are finishing up what's the last night shift probably ever in the building as they drop down to one shift because things have shrunk down enough that it makes more sense to have one big shift instead of two little ones. This will probably end the VTO culture in the building, which will probably tick off a lot of people that have been coming there in the last couple of years. I think we're going to have a lot of people quitting or getting fired. I think there's going to be a ton of turnover. You got a bunch of day shift folks that have been coasting. You have a bunch of day shift folks that have been coasting and kicking things off to night shift, us, formerly. And you have a bunch of night shift people who are so hooked on VTO that they worked there specifically to get like way less than 40-hour work weeks. So I think there's going to be a lot of problems in the next couple of weeks. And once I'm done getting pounded into being a day shift person again, because I feel like, unless I can't use caffeine and ZQuil the way I used to. I'm getting less sensitive to both of them. It just isn't doing anything for me. I just got to suck it up and try not to pass out. Getting old sucks, man. I used to be able to wake up with coffee and go to sleep with ZQuil. I didn't need to worry about this stuff. Now I do. What the hell? Hey, look, at 4,500, we're lagging out again. Now we have a slideshow. Woo! Thank you, YouTube. Yeah, and I can see where the bandwidth dropped off to 0 there. I'm at 4,500. That's the recommended bit rate, YouTube. You want people streaming at 60 FPS 4,500. What the hell? So, I think I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. Before I start playing around with this crap. I think YouTube has an infrastructure problem. It's prime time here on the U.S. East Coast, 7:38 in the evening.
Easy to get lost in a place like this. I think that's one of my
You have
favorite
Twitch.
parts about cities.
Shut up, Ember. You have yelling at
Don't like
NPCs
them
now.
every day.
Shut up. All right. Goodbye. I'd rather have, you have rubbish following me around. Oh, yeah. Striker with lightning, huh? All right. Let's just solo for a bit. This really kind of showcases one of the big problems with YouTube as they continue to grow as a streaming option, as a place to stream. There are only two ingests listed in OBS, the primary and the backup. Now, if I use RTMP, I get recommended to the backup ingest. And also recommended to downscale my stream to 720p and stream it under Twitch quality. So, you want to see the sad state of streaming on YouTube? We have a net neutrality problem over here. I'm so tempted to just do 4,500. I still have my 30 FPS, 4,500 RTMP thing here. I'll go 30 FPS, go into chat stream mode, and we can talk about this if I really have to. But you have YouTube over here trying to, get known as a streaming platform, and now we have infrastructure issues. So before I started playing with all this new stuff, yeah, here we go. I finally got a bandwidth error, probably from the stutters earlier. I finally got a bandwidth error that YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So I get that, but I don't get the out-of-range error for what the bitrate's supposed to be. I do know, though, with H.264, and HLS, with H.264 and HLS, yep, there it goes, lagging again. I do know, though, with H.264, we're slide showing again.
Epic fail.
I do know with H.264, and HLS that the recommended bitrate is 4,500. The old recommended rate for 30 frames per second, for 60 frames per second. These are supposed to be more efficient encoding solutions here. We didn't have a problem with CPU usage getting in the way. There's no problem with the GPU. That was 100% what these lag spikes now that I'm getting at the recommended bitrate. These lag spikes are coming from the ingest. YouTube only has 2 ingests. The primary and the backup. And I thought they were like scalable servers and stuff. There's only 2 of them, but they can handle more. Twitch, on the other hand, has an entire network of these things. I can do the auto check for bandwidth in OBS. I can do the auto check for bandwidth over in OBS. Let's see here. Take out these imps, or scamps. See, if I do the same auto bandwidth tech over in OBS for Twitch, I can go to a server in Toronto, Canada. I can go to a server in New York City. I can go to a server in Virginia. There are multiple ingests spread. It's like speedtest.net. You do a speed test, and it picks a server based on what you have the best connection to. So Twitch has ingests all over the country, all over the continental United States that you can hook up to. They have a network for that. YouTube, however, has primary and secondary. Now, I'm curious if I do a trace route to that. Maybe we should have this guy juggle some yarn for a bit. If I do a trace route and I look up the whois on the IP address that it goes to, is that somewhere out in California? So all of this traffic is converging on like YouTube headquarters in California. So you're talking about a gigantic social media network where literally everybody in the world trying to stream, including people in lots of countries where streaming computer use is primarily done on phones. Literally, it's a giant packet shaping situation where you're fighting against the entire rest of the platform for streaming bandwidth. Because, over on Twitter, I posted, let's just have this guy juggle some yarn. Over on Twitter, I actually posted a screenshot of the differences between YouTube and Twitch. So, YouTube recommended I downscale and stream it under Twitch quality. Twitch gave me the full 6,000, no strings attached. And they also had an auto connect, which picked the best server automatically in order to stream to. So, Twitch has the more robust infrastructure right now for ingests. I think YouTube is hitting some growing pains as a streaming platform. Now, you can do chat streams. You can do chat streams and stuff. You can do yourself some chat streams at 30 FPS, low-quality webcam, whatever, and entertain an audience that way. But for gaming, I think there's an infrastructure problem. YouTube has... let me just do that. Let this guy juggle for a bit. Give me a command window. All right, give me a command window. I don't need to go into it. I don't need administrative privileges to run it. Let me just tracert. Let me just tracert youtube.com. And then let me pop a browser here. I want to do a whois on the IP address of the very last IP address. It's much, much faster this time, but the bandwidth that's getting added by each hop. Oh no, that's the firewall it's going through. It's not going to show up. I think there's more that gets added. There's more that gets added in terms of bandwidth at the NSP level and everything going out to YouTube. And I'm getting some lag after, what is that? Okay, let me look up that IP address. who is on that IP address of where it now goes, a piece of equipment that it goes through. All right, this piece of equipment, give me a geo. Oh, it's Google LLC. So I found the gateway into Google. I'm going to pop this up here. So it goes through something in New York City. Shut up. Darn things like, hey, make it better. Fill out a survey. It's going through New York City, but I can just add an IP address at the end of the URL to check some of these other ones here. So it goes through a Google server in New York City. All right, let me try this address. New York City. It looks like it's going to New York City now. All right. Yeah, this is all in New York City. Let me check the last one. All right, so it's going to New York City. Okay. Of course, yeah, there's New York in the URL of the last piece of equipment before it goes in all these Google servers. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. So it's connecting up to, it's going to Google equipment in New York City. So I have one option. Here. And actually, can I look at, wait, this is HTTP streaming? I can actually see if I can trace route the upload server for HLS. Let me just check that. Command prompt. One more of those. Let me just check that. Open. It's like, hey, look for more stuff. All right. Trace route this YouTube address that I have for HLS streaming. All right. Let's see where it goes to. It's going to New York City. Oh, man. It's using the upload servers. So it's using the upload servers that receive the video. I can't do this with RTMP, but this is HTTP now. It's using the upload servers that people are uploading their YouTube videos on. Holy crap. It's going to the server farm where all the YouTube uploads from the northeastern United States go in New York City. Oh, man. So, in order to stream with HTTP like this, I'm up against everybody uploading all of those YouTube videos, all of those YouTube shorts. Everything that's going into YouTube from the Northeast coming in through New York City. That's where all this is going. Yeah, I think YouTube has an infrastructure problem here on the East Coast. Now, Logan said he's not having problems with streaming on YouTube, probably because he's West Coast, closer to the center of operations. But the data center they have here on the eastern U.S., rubbish. Tyranny and Vandalia, they're West Coast. They might have an easier time streaming on YouTube than me with all of these problems. And this is the crazy part. Twitch has more robust infrastructure that's dedicated to live streaming on ingest servers all around the country. Hot dog. You know, mute the game for a second here and go back to full cam. This is sobering. This is absolutely sobering, folks. Despite all of Twitch's problems and how tiny Twitch is, it's basically Daily Motion. I may very well need to take my game streaming back to Twitch simply because YouTube is getting choked by its infrastructure with all these problems. This is crazy. Like, why do people stream on Twitch? There's so many problems. People get banned for stupid reasons. There's favoritism. There's people that... Better infrastructure. I have my choice of servers if I want to stream on Twitch. Toronto, Canada, or wherever it is. New York City, like the YouTube one. Somewhere in Virginia. Or an auto thing that does a speed test every time I hit start stream and picks whichever one is the best. Not primary and backup. Seriously. Holy crap. I remember, during the COVID lockdowns, got into Twitch streaming, perfectly did fine with it. Came over to YouTube when people weren't making such a fuss about it. You know, this might be exactly the reason why you have so many low-quality, like, wildlife cams and stuff. Traffic cams, wildlife cams, things like that. And then there's people doing 30 FPS podcasts. Serious gaming, not as much of a thing over here. And if it is, it's probably being done at, like, 30 FPS or something. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I'm very seriously talking about going back to Twitch because of infrastructure issues in order to do game streaming on a platform that is basically Daily Motion with video games. Seriously. Unbelievable. This is nuts. Let's do a dungeon, try and take, let me do a dungeon. Oh, I'm almost level 22. All right, let's go decon and free up some bag space, then jump into a queue. Probably can jump into a queue for DPS or something. This is crazy. Seriously now. Twitch is actually making it. So Twitch has algorithms now. Yeah, they're small. Yeah, there's a bunch of, I call them social media vampires. Those big name streamers just sucking away like at least half the viewers. Yeah, these big name streamers on there that are like colluding with each other and sucking away like a lot of the viewers so that people with the hustle and the talent and the drive can't get an audience and stuff. You have all that going on, and yet Twitch seems to have the best infrastructure for ingests. Oh, man. Well, I'll see what the quality of this is when we're done. All right, let's see. Did we pick up anything from that?
There's really no such thing as...
Really no such thing as. 7:52. It should look to wind down at 8 o'clock anyways, if I want to have any chance at all of being a day shift guy anytime soon without it knocking me to the floor. Let's clear that up. Let's just do a dungeon. Could go in as the healer. I do have a resto staff. I have been practicing with resto staff healing as well. So why don't we set this guy up? What do I have for resto heals? Do I have the burst heal yet for resto? Nah, not yet. Blessing of Protection is the Resto 14. Well, actually, you know what we could do, and we can stress test everything. Before we go jumping into a dungeon, let's go off to the Alakir Desert and level up Resto Staff. Let's go... I also want to change the morphs as well. I don't want the one that gives you magic regen. I want the one that heals for more. So I can throw stronger heals at the stupids that are, like, fake tanking and stuff. Let's go to the Alakir Desert. Does this guy even have it mapped out? Let's go off to the Alakir Desert, and let's actually follow the Zergs around and level up Resto Staff until we can get that burst heal. And we'll change everything up. We'll actually go to Leoin, too, and we'll change up a few things. I don't think there's a place to change everything in Sentinel. All right, let's go to Leoin first. Kind of a waste of a thumbnail, though. I might just reuse it. What a waste of a thumbnail. Here I was, oh yeah, we're replacing me a show on YouTube. Just, YouTube's becoming a worse and worse place to stream for games.
You there.
I seriously think I should go to Twitch. Keep it gaming specific, keep it milquetoast. Use Seribot in case there's hate raids or something. I do still have my Twitch setup. Just gotta reactivate it, change out the music, or just use in-game music. See if anyone shows up. I haven't streamed on Twitch in an extremely long time. That's the banker. We don't want that. We want to go to the church. Go to the cathedral, change out some morphs, which shouldn't cost very much because this guy's level 21 going on 22. What do we have for lifetime? 2,000 drop frames from those lag spikes. We're sitting at a solid 4,500. Oh, there it goes. Use 4,500. It's recommended. Darn YouTube. That's the attribute shrine. We don't want that. We want the skill shrine over here. Stendar. All right, let's do morphs. All right, change this out to illustrious healing. Yeah, get some healing abilities ready here. In case Rune Prison, Daedric Curse can be morphed. All right. Explodes a second time. Reduces the cost of your pets. Deal additional damage to the cursed target. Nah, we'll just have it explode a second time. I'm trying to level that up so I can get, like, bound armor or something like that. While slotted, your max magic is increased by 6%. Then I'll pair that up with a Mage Guild skill and get, like, 11% increased magic. Which, actually, that might be a reason for me to go back to using the Mage for my Mundus on my characters. Because if there's a percentage... Let's do that. If there's a percent... Alright, let's see here. Let's see here. And this really throws a wrench into me streaming on or at all. Never mind on YouTube or Twitch. But why should I put up with this stuff? You had all these people that, I want to be a streamer. Yeah, well, you're not one of those people with express lane internet living near a major data center where you can easily get hooked into like Twitch or YouTube. Let's go to the Alakir Desert. Do we have it mapped out? I think we have it mapped out enough. Yeah, we have it just mapped out enough to join the Zerg. We're gonna go heal a bunch of people and get like a couple more points of resto staff. Then we can just do a dungeon. Unless more things screw up. Maybe I should check out Facebook. What's Facebook's ingest like? Oh, we picked the right spot. There we go. Actually getting some frame rate drops from all these effects going off. Whee! I still got the resto staff, so see if we can throw a few spells. Check that preview, see if we get encoding lag from all the activity on the screen. Do I have an experience scroll? Nope. Grab one from the bank. Call the banker guy out.
When oath bounds are weak, there is pain and shame and darkness.
Let's see if this gets me instant death for the boss.
The plan is in place. You are but
Didn't even get kill credit for the boss. Restoration staff to 8. Storm calling to 28. How many points do we need? Didn't quite hit level 22 though. All right, in order to get to, we need to get to level 14. All right. We'll do that off stream. I'm not going to grind dolmens. It's 8 o'clock anyways. I should be winding down. I should do, if I want to do streams like this, do them in the AM, and we'll do some experimenting. So I'm not winding myself up when I should be trying to wind down. Took a nap earlier, but it's the same old story. It is still the same old story. During the entire time during the day, I have trouble sleeping at night. The entire time during the day, I feel like I've been smacked in the head with a 2x4, and then I get all my energy after sunset like I'm still night shift, even though it's been over a week since I started trying to... It's been weeks since I started trying to roll everything back. Well, the night owl thing is something else altogether. Well, this has been a fun tech experiment. Roughly a 1-hour stream or so, and change. But, yeah, YouTube. If you want to be taken seriously as a streaming platform, you need the infrastructure. Get rid of some of these people that are doing stupid little TikToks, day in the life videos, hire some more people with hard skills, and build out that infrastructure so that people can actually take you seriously as a streaming platform. And we don't run into situations like that thing I put on Twitter earlier, where if I'm on Twitch, I get everything. Full 6,000, can probably jump it up to 8,000, no issues. But if I'm on YouTube, it says 5,300 tops, below Twitch quality at 60 frames per second, and downscale to 720p in order to stream. YouTube. If I'm going to stream at 720p, I can do it on Facebook, because that's what you start at when you're not partnered on Facebook yet. What has happened to live streaming? Is this why YouTube is making such a big deal out of YouTube Shorts? Is this part of the reason why Susan Wojcicki is stepping down from the company and Neil Mohan's taking over? I have a lot of digging to do on what the hell's going on over at Google. Holy crap, what happened? Streaming looked like such a fun thing to do, part of your toolkit as a YouTuber. YouTube made strides on it, attracted talent over, and we have this. I have to worry about ingest bandwidth, whether it's AM or PM. YouTube, get it together. Till next time, this is Multimedia Jay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.